And now Donald Trump says that he would personally cast his vote in Florida, which is where he now lives, to support their extreme abortion ban, just like the one that is here in Georgia. And well, that's a whole different policy discussion that we'll have for another day.
I wanted to start with that clip from a Vice President Harris rally today, because it's not just hilarious that someone out in the audience shouted out that Donald Trump can't vote because he's a felon, but it also shows why Vice President Harris continues to surge in this race as Donald Trump takes he can't deliver a thought, and sometimes he can't deliver a word in any of his speeches. His rambling diet tries, but Vice President Harris is out there engaging with voters, having fun, bringing joy to the campaign trail, and that has MAGA media, specifically Sean Hannity at the Fox propaganda outlet, so upset they are trying to now go after Vice President Harris for these fun and incredible speeches that she has been delivering to gigantic crowds. And I think the crowds has a lot to do with why they are trying to attack Vice President Harris, get on Donald Trump's good side. We know that really drives him crazy. But like I said, Sean Hannity is out with a new and really strange attack that is just incredibly disingenuous, attacking Vice President Harris' speeches, but he got what he deserved. He got humiliated by Vice President Harris after this attack, and we are going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button, join our movement if you haven't already. Now let's get into this clip first of Sean Hannity.
Kind of keep track of these things. This is Kamala's 5th or 6th new little accent on the campaign. You decide.
Hello to all my divine nine brothers and sisters and my soror. You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time. You all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. Let's just get through the next 64 days. How about that? And yesterday, extremists passed both bans in this year of our Lord 2024. The courts are going to handle that. We're going to beat them in November. And I will tell you, when we get this done together, my friend, do I see people testifying? Can I get a witness?
So Hannity's new approach to trying to deliver a winning message against Vice President Harris is to mock her for having fun on the campaign trail, for acting like a normal person, for enjoying herself. Maybe it's just because Donald Trump is such a mania and he is so out of control that they just wish they had a candidate who could go out there and just enjoy themselves during a speech. It's also a lot of racist undertones in the attack that Sean Hannity is making. But again, it's more jealousy than anything that Donald Trump is an abject failure whenever he gets up on stage. Everything that comes out of his mouth instantly backfiring, and Vice President Harris' message is actually resonating. And so they're trying to find any way to attack her. But Vice President Harris has dealt with this before. This is nothing new to her. And so she knows exactly how to respond. And when she was asked about attacks like Sean Hannity that are made against her for bringing joy to the campaign trail, she gave such an excellent response that I just think put him to shame. And I want to check it out.
Before we conclude, Madam Vice President, Joyful Warrior has been used to describe your campaign.
You didn't see that just a minute ago, though. Okay, I'm back to my joyful part.
And your opponent and Republicans have at times weaponized you laughing in campaign ads, for example. Why is joy important to you to insert into this election? And what do you make of Republicans using that as a way to suggest that you're not a serious candidate?
Well, sometimes I think, and I'll say to whoever the young people are who are watching this, there are some times when your adversaries will try and turn your strength into a weakness. Don't you let them. Don't you let them.
I find joy in the American people. I find joy and optimism in what I see to be our future and our ability to invest in it. I find joy in the ambition of the people. I find joy in the dreams of the people. I find joy in building community. I find joy in building coalitions. I find joy in believing that the true measure of the strength of a leader is not based on who you beat down, but who you lift up. And I think we should all find joy and have a sense of optimism about who we are as Americans and what we mean to each other and what we can do to lift each other up.
Republicans know they have nothing on Vice President Harris. They have nothing at all. They can't accomplish anything legislatively. They can't bring any joy or unity to the country, so all they can do is attack. But Vice President Harris has seen that tired playbook before, and she doesn't care. She is going to keep moving forward with joy, because while Republicans try to distract, we are focused on the future. And so instead of attacking Vice President Harris for enjoying herself during a speech, maybe we focus on the rhetoric in this campaign that actually matters, a real hot topic of conversation this week, which I think was pretty well called out. Funny enough, shocking enough at the folks CNN who put together this compilation of Donald Trump's angry rhetoric and attacking rhetoric, which he has blamed Democrats for all week. And I want to check that out.
Look, we can disagree with one another, we can debate one another, but we cannot tell the American people that one candidate is a fascist, and if he's elected, it is going to be the end of American democracy.
Except here is Vance's actual running mate saying exactly that.
It's a choice between communism and freedom. This is communist, this is Marxist, this is fascist. This is a radical left Marxist, communist, fascist. She's a Marxist, she's a fascist. Comrade Kamala Harris. Comrade Kamala Harris. If Comrade Kamala Harris gets 4 more years, you will be living a full-blown banana republic ruled by an anarchy and a tyranny. They're scum. They're scum, and they want to take down our country. They are absolute garbage.
And of course, Republicans trying to say that Democrats are responsible for increases in political violence or any lack of unity in this country, any division or hate is just absolute nonsense when we see Donald Trump not only speaking in the way that he does, but of course, encouraging and trying to normalize political violence. But it's all a distraction. It's all they can do. They can just try to move our attention away from the issues and Donald Trump's abject failures while he was president. His inability to campaign in any cohesive way. They want to move our attention, but we have to focus on what matters. And someone who said that exactly and in a great way, calling out not just Donald Trump, but James Comer in Congress, was my Congressman Maxwell Frost. And I want to check that out.
This committee functions as an extension of the Trump campaign. First, we went after President Biden with a nonsense impeachment hearing. Then we went after his son. Now we're going after the vice president because she's the nominee. And my question is, Mr. Chairman, are we going after Tim Walz next week? Because I hear from my staff that you're planning a hearing on Governor Tim Walz, even though he's been governor for 5 years and his name hasn't been uttered in this room or in this committee until something happened recently. Oh, yes, he became the vice presidential nominee. Is he next?
His son's going to jail.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about Governor Tim Walz.
Okay.
Are we doing a hearing on him next week?
I'll have to check.
You'll have to check. Okay.
Well,
We'll see what happens next week. Someone whose name has not been uttered in this committee, but now that he's the Democratic vice presidential nominee, we're going to do a hearing on him. A complete blatant use of official resources for a political campaign is what this committee has been. And anyone who's taking part in that should be ashamed of themselves.
A call out of Donald Trump. A call out of James Comer. A call out of MAGA. At large, does it get any better than that? Maxwell Frost, proud to have him as my congressman. Absolutely incredible. And it reminds me of something that I think is incredibly important to talk about right now, which is how much we need to flip the House blue. Do we seriously want James Comer this time next year still running hearings in a House? Do we still want the MAGA majority in their complete dysfunction? No. We have to do everything we can to flip the House blue. And so to finish off today's video, I wanted to talk about a seat in this election. A race that is highly contested, that just flipped from what is considered to be a solid R to a little bit less likely. A likely R, and the Democrat who is running in that race, and that is Democrat Jonathan Nez. Someone who we have talked about on this show before, running against very extreme Republican Eli Crane, a member of the Extreme Freedom Caucus. He's a friend of Matt Gaetz, said he's his brother, and recently received Donald Trump's complete and total endorsement. Yeah, that's not a guy that we need in Congress anymore. But Jonathan Nez is the former president of the Navajo Nation who secured funds to construct new healthcare facilities and homes for veterans. He invested in public safety and bolstered infrastructure. This is someone who has made a real impact in his community, so I need y'all to help me out in supporting Jonathan Nez in his campaign to flip that seat in Arizona blue. Because it is so important we do so. And all the tightest races around the country. So I'm going to have a link to donate to his campaign in the description of this video and at the top of the comment section. And if you could chip in, it would really mean the world to me. It goes a long way. And we got to make sure we flip the House blow. And until next time, I'll see you soon.